Hi everyone, it's Dee here, and today we're going to be making this beautiful skirt here. This was requested by someone because we made a sweater in this pattern, so I hope you enjoy the tutorial. This skirt is made in 2 panels and I'm going to be showing you how to make it. So get your materials ready and let's get started. For the materials, you'll need a tape measure, you'll need a 5mm hook or any hook size your yarn recommends. I'm going to be using Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo, and this is a 4 medium weight yarn, and I used 1.5 of this, and that was enough for my size, which is large. So we're going to be making a size large. You're also going to need scissors. So guys, your foundation chain is how long your shortest point of your skirt is going to be. It's going to be this point here, because this is where you're going to start from. And then we're going to keep increasing until we get to the longest point. So you also need to know how many inches you want this to be. Okay, and mine is going to be 20 inches. So you can make it longer or shorter depending on what you want. So the shortest point for my skirt is 15 inches long, and that's how long my foundation chain is going to be. Alright, so let's get started with the tutorial, guys. You're going to start with a slip knot. And then I assume you already know how long you want your foundation chain to be. So mine is going to be 15 inches like I said. So I'll go ahead and make the chain, and I'll be back once I'm done with that. So here it is. I'm done with my chain of 15 inches. To get started with our first row, I'm going to add 2 more chains. That's going to work as our turning point, so the chain does not count as a stitch. Then you're going to yarn over and make a half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. Make a half double crochet in the next stitch. Make a half double crochet into the next stitch, and you're going to repeat that across. Alright, I'm done with my first row of half double crochet. Now we're going to start our second row, and to do that we're going to chain 2, turn your work, then you're going to yarn over, and this time we're going to be working in the back loops only. So you're going to go into the back loop of your first stitch and make a half double crochet. So we're working in the back loops only. Okay, so skip the 2 chains and make a half double crochet into that very first stitch. Make a half double crochet in the back loop of the next stitch. Make a half double crochet into the back loop of the next stitch, and you're going to repeat that across, making 1 half double crochet in every back loop stitch. So do that until you get to the end of the row. I'm now working towards the end of my second row. Once you have 1 stitch left, you can go through both loops with a half double crochet. Now next we're going to make an increase, so you're going to chain 4 here. So chain 4 and turn your work. Then you're going to yarn over and skip 1, 2, and into the 3rd chain. Into the 3rd chain you're going to make a half double crochet, half double crochet in the next chain, then continue working in the back loops only, making 1 half double crochet. So that's how we make an increase. Make 1 half double crochet in every back loop until you get to the end of the row. Alright, and at the end of row 3 you're going to go through both loops to complete that row. So make a half double crochet in that very last stitch. Then you're going to start row 4, chain 2, turn your work, make a half double crochet into that very first stitch. So as you can see, we're keeping it straight on this side, which is going to be the waist. So you're going to go on making 1 half double crochet in every back loop of every stitch until you get to the end of the row. So this is how it looks. Once again, when you get to the end of the row, you're going to go through both loops. So we're now completing our 4th row. Make a half double crochet into that very last stitch. Now we're going to make an increase for our 5th row. So chain 4, turn your work, yarn over, skip 2, and make a half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. Yarn over, make a half double crochet in the next chain, yarn over, make a half double crochet in the back loop of the next chain, yarn over, make a half double crochet in the back loop of the next chain, and you're going to repeat that until you get to the end of the row. So basically that's what we're going to keep repeating to make these increases. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this row, and then I'll work, I will make my way back to this end and I'll show you guys one more time how to make an increase. Okay, so I'll meet you back here. So right now we have 6 rows, and I'm ending the row with a half double crochet in this very last stitch, and then we're making an increase. To make an increase, chain 4, turn your work. Now we're starting row 7. Okay, so yarn over, skip 2, and make a half double crochet in the 3rd chain. Yarn over, make a half double crochet in the next chain, yarn over, make a half double crochet in the back loop of the next stitch, make a half double crochet in the back loop of the next stitch, and repeat that until you get to the end. And that's all you have to do, guys. So you're going to keep repeating that until you get to the longest point, depending on how many inches you want yours to be. So I'm going to make main until the last row of increase is 20 inches long. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back. This is what I have, guys, and we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 rows. I have 21 rows completed here, and this has to be half of my hip measurement. Okay, so this has to be 12.5 inches, because my hip measurement is 50 inches. Divide by 2, you get 25. So the front and back panel will be 25 inches. So you divide the 25 inches by 2 as well to get the longest point of your skirt. So mine is 12.5 inches when stretched. Okay, remember to stretch it, but you can still take the same measurements without it being stretched if you don't want the skirt to be tight on you. Okay, so now that we have enough row, we have half of my hip measurement, we're now going to make decreases for the other part of our skirt. So I'm going to chain 2 and work towards the end, and then I'll show you guys how to decrease. All right, I'm completing my row 22. So once you get to the end here, I have 3 stitches left. Okay, hope you can see that. This is 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to go through both loops of the next stitch and make a half double crochet, and I'm going to have 2 stitches left. So I'm not going to work into the last 2 stitches. I'm going to simply chain 2 and turn my work, and there we have done our first decrease. So yarn over into the first back loop, make a half double crochet, into the next back loop, make a half double crochet, and you're going to repeat that until the end. So again, I'm going to complete this row, and then this is now row 23. So I'm going to make row 24, and then I'll meet you back at the end of row 24 to show you guys how to make a decrease. All right, to complete our row 24, I have 1, 2, 3 stitches left, and I'm going to yarn over and make a half double crochet going through both loops of the next stitch, and make a half double crochet to complete the row. And I have 2 stitches left. I won't work in those 2. I'll just ignore them, chain 2 and turn my work, and then I'll repeat the pattern. Make your first half double crochet in the first back loop, make half double crochet in the next back loop, and repeat across. So I'm going to complete this row, and then I'll return back and show you guys one more time how to make a decrease, and then I'll do the rest off camera. All right, I'm back and I have about 4 stitches left here. So I'm going to make my last stitch going through both loops with a half double crochet, and then I have 2 stitches left here, and I'm going to leave those out of work. Then chain 2, turn my work, and repeat the pattern. So I'm going to go ahead until I have 20 rows of decrease, and then I'll be done with my front panel. Okay. All right, I'm back guys, and I have completed my 20 rows of decrease, and this is what I have at the end of your last row. You should be having the same number of stitches that you started with. If you had chained 60 chains at the end of your last row, you should be having 60 stitches as well. Okay, so I made 21 rows of increase, and I made 20 rows of decrease. So I have the longest row is just in the middle. So in total here we have a total of 41 rows. So now this, when stretched, goes all the way up to 50 inches. It goes up to 25 inches, which is half of my hip measurement. So you're going to go ahead and make your front panel and back panel. As you can see, I already have my 2 panels completed, and we're now going to join the 2 together. So guys, we're now going to join our 2 panels together, And to do that, you're going to make sure that you place your panels right side inside, like the right side is facing each other, and what we have here on top is the wrong side. To identify which side is the right side, you're going to do that from your first row. You can tell where it is facing, and that is going to be your right side. I hope that makes sense. So you're going to align them very well, because we're now going to join them together. And I'm going to be using the single crochet stitch. Feel free to use a darning needle or to use any stitch that you like to join with. So after you have aligned them very well, you're going to insert your hook, and I'm going to insert my hook in the very first stitch of both panels, and I'm going to make a slip stitch, chain one, and then I'm going to go through the back loops of each panel and make a single crochet. Go through the back loop of your first panel and through the back loop of your second panel, and then make a single crochet. Go through the back loop of both panels and make a single crochet, just like that. Through the back loop, make a single crochet. Through the back loop of both panels, make your single crochet. And you're going to repeat that across. And since we have the same number of stitches, this is going to be well aligned, nothing is going to be missing. So make sure you have the same number of stitches. All right, I'm going to fast forward here, and then I'll meet you at the end. All right, I'm now joining towards the end, so this is my last stitch, and now I have the last two chains, like where we've been chaining two. I'm just going to go through between, because going through the stitch was not easy, so I'll go through between the chains and the double crochet and make a slip stitch. Get your scissors and cut the yarn off, leaving a long tail that you can weave in. And there, we're done joining this part. So this is how it looks. So you're going to go ahead and join the other side as well. Okay, I have already joined mine here, so I'm going to flip it, get the right side out, and we're now going to work on our ribbing for the waistband. This is how the right side looks. To start the ribbing of our skirt, you're going to insert your hook anywhere. I'm going to start from the sides where we joined from. So I'm going to make a slip knot. And this is how I always attach my yarn. So I'm going to attach my yarn in the side row, like that. So we're not going to work over the posts. Chain one, and then back in that same space, make a double crochet, yarn over. Then you're going to go in the next side row and make 2 double crochets, Then in the next side row, you're going to make 1 double crochet, and then into the next, you're going to make 2. So we're making 2, 1, 2, 1 all the way around. Make 2 here, 2 double crochets, make 1 double crochet in the next row, and you're going to repeat that until you get to the end. Once you get to the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch to join. So go on top of the first double crochet with a slip stitch. Then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to make a front post. Insert your hook under the post, pull up a loop and make a double crochet. The next stitch, you're going to pass your hook behind the post, then in front, and make a back post double crochet. And you're going to repeat that, making front post and a front post and a back post double crochet. So that's a back post. Next we're making a front post. Yarn over, make a back post double crochet, then make a front post double crochet. And that's what you're going to repeat until you get to the end. So once you make it to the end of your row, you're going to slip stitch to join. Then you're going to chain up 2. You're going to yarn over and make a front post going under the chain 2 and the double crochet from previous row. Yarn over. Then you're going to make a back post double crochet. Yarn over, make a front post double crochet. Yarn over, make a back post double crochet, and you're going to repeat that pattern. So I made a total of 3 rows for this ribbing, so I'm going to go ahead and complete the 3 rows of front and back post double crochet. Then I'll be back as we complete our skirt. Alright, to complete my last row of front and back post for the ribbing, I'm going to slip stitch to join, chain 1, get your scissors and cut off the yarn. Pull tight, then you will have to weave that in, and now this is what we have. And next we're going to make a chain. This is how our skirt looks. So beautiful. I hope you have the same results. Alright, so let's make the chain to tie around our waist. I'll go ahead and weave in these tails quickly, and let's do this. Alright, I'm back. You're going to make a slip knot and simply make a chain long enough to go around your waist. I didn't count or measure how long my chain was, but I just counted enough chains to go around my waist, and that's it. So once you're done making your chain, you're going to get your darning needle and you're going to thread it. Then you're going to weave that in around the waist. Okay. So here I'm simply going through the stitches, pulling through my chain, going under and over the stitches. So I'm going to do this until I get to the end. If you are still here, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe and recommend this tutorial to your friends whom you think might like it. And let's stay connected, okay? So yeah. Once you get back to the end, this is how it looks, and you're just going to, tie a knot in front, and yeah, until you feel comfortable. So I'm simply going to tie these two strands here. I'm just simply tying a knot, nothing special, and then I'm going to weave in the chain, the left chain, and that's it. And this brings us to the end of our tutorial, guys. Thanks so much for watching this far, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next tutorial coming up soon. It's going to be a top, so I hope you will enjoy it as much as you enjoyed this one here. All right, bye.